Hello, Cancer and Cancer Rising. Welcome to your June 2016 extended monthly forecast. As we do every month, we're going to start with two things. A theme, which I sort of noticed as I was looking at cards and tuning in for this month. And the theme that I see is really about releasing, letting go. Anything that you didn't do in retrograde, you should be wrapping it up right now. We're still in the shadow of retrograde. But this is a beautiful month because we have the solstice energy that's coming through for summer. So your channeled information is to allow your own positivity, your own love, your joy, all those higher emotions to radiate out. And then I got this idea. It's like a ripple in a pond, because sometimes when we think of radiate, we think of radiation. It's not about that. Think of like a sun or a star where they're radiating light out. And then the sort of secondary message that came through for this was, when something radiates, it also ripples, because we can see time rippling, we can see water rippling. So imagine that on a sort of metaphysic level, what you do, what you think, because your thoughts have form and weight, is actually going to go out there and then cause a positive or negative rippling depending on what you want. Okay, so now let's tune in and see what the cards have to say for this month. I love this deck, but it is enormous and difficult to shuffle. There we go. Okay, so let's go straight to the cards, and then I'll pull your catalyst card as well to see how this all ties together. Before I even go any further, I can tell a lot of you are currently really trying to plan ahead for the second part of the year, because that Two of Wands card is sort of like a quintessential planning card, trying to figure out what's next. And your catalyst, what's tying everything together here today, is Rhiannon. Great song, great card here too. And actually, since this is a newer deck, there's one that's stuck underneath, so you get a couple here. All right, so first things first. When we're looking at the card here, Rhiannon, this is about not second guessing yourself. So just like when I'm looking at cards here each month, you have to go with what you feel on an intuitive level, without having to sort of second guess all of the other signs that are coming in. So I really want you to know what your true sort of intuition is, and don't doubt it that much. Stuck to this. So the flip side of the coin is trying to get rid of anything that's pulling you off path, anything that you feel is just a distraction. So listen to your intuition, and if there's any people, things, or any sort of noise around you that's starting to take you off that path, you need to reduce that. Now let's take a look at how the cards are assembled and what they mean for you this month. Okay, so let's actually hop to the crowning card here, which this is a different version of the Devil card. What is interesting and what I like about this card is it shows you that the devil isn't always something that shows its face. And really, as cards go, I'm never really afraid when I get this card. What it means is, in this particular deck, sort of like a wolf in sheep's clothing, someone who appears to be a friend. That's why we have the lovers here in the front. But when you turn your back, or when you're not aware of what's going on, other things are happening. So I think, honestly, this is why Rhiannon came through for you this month. You need to trust your intuition when it comes to relationships this month, particularly business sort of dealings, where someone seems to be listening, seems to be supportive, but you know deep down inside that there might be more to the story. So dig a little bit deeper. In friendships, if something seems too good to be true, it probably is. The other thing with the normal interpretation of the Devil card is there's normally chains that hold people to one another, or to a decision, or to a contract that may have once seemed great, but rears its head later as being probably not ideal. So your job this month would be to let go of those chains, since that was the theme. Let's see if you can get some help and some guidance on why and how. Okay, so first things first, when we look here, Prince of Wands, coming in and charging through the center of the deck here. Big ideas are at your sort of beck and call this month if you want to sort of go down the path of trying to bring out a new product, trying to redefine your brand if you're a company. It's also a great month for brainstorming, and this shows the ability to forecast and think of things down the road. The Two of Wands is a great card because it's sort of the dream before you do it. You have to be able to see what's on the horizon before you can get there. So I don't want you to get too mixed up in sort of if your present situation feels like it is trapping you, isn't what you want to do, then the Prince of Wands says, we'll start thinking of your plan B or your plan C or both. And then this one says, start to put them into action and think of how you can make this maybe a 2-year journey to be to a better place. This is basically slow and steady wins the race with the Two of Wands. Feels like a lot of you have done well with getting your finances in order this month. You may have recently looked for a new job or a new house, and I see that things are starting to fall into place for many of you in that area. And if you haven't, this is saying pay attention, take a look, be more discerning when it comes to how you spend your money, how you spend your time. We forget time as a resource. We only think of, money is imaginary anyway, the value that goes into it. It's just paper and ink, but we've ascribed a value to it. With time, we look at the clock occasionally, but we forget it's always going, and there is a finite amount of it. So spend it wisely. And what I see here is, for many of you, a little bit of a delay when it comes to possibly launching something that you're hoping to do mid-month. So I would say you might want to push any big product launches, any big announcements if you're thinking of an engagement or if you're thinking of starting a company. End of the month is a lot better. Next month is even better. And same thing with travel. I would say this is the first 2 weeks of this month. It's better to sort of stay local. And again, the reversal of this means it's inevitable. I see you eventually branching out, but not immediately. For those of you seeking any sort of contract finalization, also some delays at the beginning of the month, probably turning around by the end of the month. It's still a good card, but the reversal is saying be diligent, be patient, push off 2 to 4 weeks if you can. It's going to be much better towards, actually right after solstice. Anytime after solstice, things open up for you. A lot of you are really worrying about practical matters right now. Do I have enough? Will I have enough? Is everything okay? Just trying to make sense of all of those bare essentials. And that makes sense because, we are at the midpoint in the year, and many of you coming out of retrograde may have discovered some things that, you weren't paying attention to. And so this is just basically you waking up, and don't get freaked out by it, is what this card is sort of saying. It's good that you're worried about it, but excessive worry doesn't necessarily solve it. When we look at your surrounding cards, we have the Magician. So again, if we look here at the card in your recent past, showing that you've done good work in creating positive sort of connections with work, this is showing you that you can actually start manifesting on that. Again, mid to late month is better for that. The other thing that I'm getting for some of you is to take a look at medicine came up for some reason. So if any of you are on a lot of different types of medicine, this is a chance to go back to the doctor. Sometimes the Magician is a doctor card for me. So great time of the year to get a physical if you haven't had one. But more importantly, to take a look at your vitamins and your nutrition and any sort of there's something with like the medicine or the diet crossing one another out. So just make sure that you're doing everything to be healthy, happy, and not having too many things that you're putting into your body chemically. Queen of Cups in reverse. This is in your hopes and fears. When I see this in the hopes and fears, it shows me that there could be some relationship stress or challenges when it comes to harmony this month. You probably want to wait until after the full moon to start any new relationships, particularly with the big moon here. It's showing me not right now. Wait about a month as well for this. There may be a strong water sign coming through for you as well, even though I would associate this card with you. If this indicates you, then it's a mood swing. It's a little bit of a challenging start of the month, but I do feel like it'll sort of switch around by the end of the month. If you encounter another Cancer or Scorpio or Pisces, then really for this month, what I would say is try your best not to go anywhere where you're either taking a low blow or it's an emotionally charged conversation. Really try to keep it all about business, all stay as even tempered as you can, and allow other things to just kind of work their way out. It's a similar message for a lot of signs this month, but for you in particular, let your own emotions even before you have any sort of conflict or challenging conversations. The end of the month, we have the Ace of Pentacles in reverse. So I'm seeing a general slowing for money over the course of the month. It starts off on a high note, and then it either plateaus or it goes down a little bit, showing me some potential costs that you may not have thought about, or just a little bit less abundance, which of course we know there's ebbs and flows with money. So what you can do is just be more mindful about forecasting, since we have the Two of Wands at the center here, and releasing any sort of habitual things, habits, whether it's smoking, drinking, or just eating out too much, whatever it is that's taxing your monetary resources. Acknowledge it and don't beat yourself up over it, but just sort of cut that out. Because when we look at your sort of catalyst for this month, we had two. One of them was reduction. It's hard to see with all of the embellishment there, but it is reduction. So think about it. Your own intuition is going to give you a good sign, but I feel like it's one of those frivolous things that isn't going to be the end of the world if you let it go. Okay, so now let's take a look at the extended forecast, and we'll start with your with health. I'm going to switch decks here for this. So when we look at what it is for your health, well-being, mental state, all of these go together. It's interesting. I think I got that for another sign that I just read. So love yourself. Basically, this goes along very nicely with the reduction card, with even this devil card, which is about trying to free yourself of anything that isn't helping. And then just being a little kinder to yourself on, again, if there is a situation, it might be a work situation, maybe a relationship, realize that there were two parties in this, that you did the best you could, and a lot of times you don't learn things until you get into them. So just let the lessons come, release any blame, and move on. Take steps to get yourself into a better place. That's in health, but it is about love. So it's showing me that emotions are having a direct correlation to your mental health this month. Feels like your body's in pretty good shape, so I'm not too worried about that. So when we look now at your wealth, what we have here is gratitude. So even if you have some sort of a ceasing or lessening of money towards the end of the month, be grateful for all that you've had, all that you've been able to accomplish and accumulate. There's a lot here that can happen with a simple act of gratitude. The other interesting thing that some people forget with the law of attraction is if you're in good shape overall, and it's just a matter of maybe donating to your favorite charity, and it may be something small like $1 or $5 or something like that, gratitude will go a very long way, and it shows the universe that you're open to receive again. So it's sort of reverse logic or reverse psychology, where you think you're doing something that you shouldn't be doing, but if it's a small gesture, thank you, small tip, something like that, it will go a very long way. Or just giving of time, you could donate time to a soup kitchen or something like that, basically showing that thank you and I want to give back. The universe will sort of respond with new opportunities. Okay, this card is the one that wants to come through. So we just looked at health, wealth, now we're taking a look at love. So it's very, very, very close to your catalyst card, which is self-trust. So what this is saying is through the law of attraction as well, if you don't trust yourself, you bring people who sort of validate that lack of trust and do things to betray you. If you trust yourself and you really trust your partner, whoever you're with, it's a better way to sort of have a foundation for a relationship. I mean, tune into that intuition. If you don't trust someone, it's probably for a good reason. And if you can't trust them, you're probably not with the right person, whether it's friendship, work, or other. Whatever it is, you have to have that basic, I've got your back, you've got my back. And if you don't, that's a good signal from the universe that it's a perfect time to leave. or to move on, or to have a difficult conversation. One of the above. Finally, when we look at the card here that's helping you hone in on what you should be working towards this month, this is like the so what card, the destiny card. It came through reverse, so I will pay attention to that. But we have White Tarot, which is about purification. So I was picking up on some of that with the Magician card. And so if it is a matter of diet, medicine, drugs, whatever it is, there's an opportunity to take one of those things away and purify your overall, your body. And that's going to understandably factor into having a clearer mind and having more energy. So I feel like those are all tied together. So let's summarize, because there was a lot to take in. Your channeled information this month is to remember that you are basically like a beacon or a lighthouse. And what you broadcast out into the universe has a rippling effect. Positivity begets positivity, negativity begets negativity, doubt will bring situations that reinforce the doubt. Stay positive, broadcast positive thoughts. This is like a big satellite dish. It sends and it receives. I want you to be focus on whatever you're broadcasting to be I can, I will, I am. Positive affirmative statements like I am successful, I will succeed at this, I'm doing what I want to be doing, I will bring in positive people. Think about these mantras rather than I'm not smart enough, I can't do this, there's not enough time. Stop sort of closing down opportunities. The universe will listen and give you less. Okay, let's look at the rest of the cards again, summarizing only here. Your catalyst cards, plural, this month are to listen to your intuition and then to remove whatever isn't worth keeping this month. Looking at your overall cards, the central theme is about forecasting, is about getting to a better place over the next couple of years. This is a long journey, but you can see where you want to go. Once you see that, everything starts to line up to allow that to happen. Big ideas are coming through this month. Capitalize on them if you can. There may be some delays in launching a business or getting some of those ideas onto paper. Just be persistent, because what I see is environmentally, meaning all of the people that you've been making friends with over the course of the past few months or years, they're going to be there to help you through this as well. Money situation starts off well. There's some challenges mid to late month. Stick with it and be grateful. Remember, one of your cards for money said gratitude. It's going to work out. Just be patient and give thanks when necessary. Finally, and most importantly, your sort of crowning card and your ego card tie together pretty nicely. There's something that you've been pausing on acting on. So if it's a fear, I want you to release it. If it's a situation that's holding you back, I want you to focus on releasing that. The World card is showing it's time to let go of this. If it's an addiction, because we saw some things with drugs or possibly medication, let go of that, seek out help, seek out a second opinion if you need to. Purification came through loud and clear as a backup to that. For relationships, trust yourself, because we had this sort of self-trust card here with Rhiannon. And then also, if you don't trust your partner, it's pretty clear that there's something bigger at stake here, and you may want to question why you're with that person. Last and most important, I guess, is to love yourself. Take care of yourself, nurture yourself, and don't be too hard on yourself for wherever you are in your life right now. You have to realize we come to certain situations at exactly the right time, and we go through certain things in our life to teach us lessons. So you just accept the lesson, release the lesson, and move on, and look for messages that are going to so hopefully bring you into a better path. So meditation is a really great thing for you to start to do this month if you haven't sort of already taken up a meditation practice. So I do believe that's all the messages that came through for you this month. I hope this was helpful for you. If you ever would like more of a one-on-one appointment, I'll post a link in the corner and you can reach out to me there. To keep on track and in touch with what's going on the channel, subscribing is the easiest way, but I also have a very active Facebook page, Twitter account, and Instagram. And if you just would prefer like an email when the videos are posted each month, signing up for my newsletter is the easiest way, because as soon as I hit publish on YouTube, I try to also send out the newsletter. So it's a great way to find out immediately what's going on. finally, in my own sort of version of the gratitude card here, I just want to say thank you so much for spending your time with me each month, allowing me to read for you, because it is a privilege and you have a lot of choices here. So please do keep in touch, keep up the likes, the subscribes, and if you find this beneficial, I also put a donate button there. Anything is appreciated. Otherwise, take care of yourselves, and I will see you again in a month's time. Satnam, and so long for now.